everybody, quick one. There's news from Sweden. I don't know what size the milk company is, the dairy company based in Sweden, but it's dropped BOVAER. So, flipping good news, really. This has come from Kent Nielsen Denmark's X account, so I will put a link directly to his account linking this story. It was in Swedish, but I've used the translate thing, and I think the translation goes a bit wonky, especially with kind of this kind of like Danish to English and Swedish to English. It kind of comes across a bit wonky. Anyway, this is literally reported on, I think it was yesterday. You'll see it on the screen now. That probably won't show on there because I've got a face track. It's on the screen anyway. In the small picture, the end of BOVAER in Sweden for this time ? And I think the title probably should read the BOVAER project, but it says the VAER because this is the translation, the issue. So I'm just going to assume it means BOVAER. The BOVAER project in Sweden is stopped. The last dairy steps off. The climate milk project is now history. The dairy, which has openly used the controversial additive BOVAER, has quietly ended its cooperation and cleared the website of all information. Instead, which would reduce the metanet, became another symbol of how animal health and transparency had to stand back in the name of climate policy. Do you see what I mean about the translation being a little bit odd? But we're going to go with it. And if it reads weirdly, then that can't be helped. The last known Swedish project with the climate feed BOVAER is now stopped. And then it's someone's name. I don't know how you're going to pronounce it. I'm going to read it how I see it. Gesine Megeri, who together with Axe Food and Volta Green Tech tested to mix the controversial supplement in the cow's feed, has quietly completed the bet and cleared the website of all information, reports Agriculture Land. The supplement has been marketed as a way to reduce methane emissions from cows, but has recently been linked to serious side effects in Denmark, where cows have become ill and died. Despite the fact that Gesine previously defended its participation, there is now total silence from the dairy. I think that Gesine, I don't know, is the name of the dairy. I don't know. We have not, and this is someone talking. This is the CEO of that dairy that we've just spoken about. We have not seen any negative impact on animal health or milk production, he says. The result has shown a substantial reduction in methane emissions, writes the CEO of that dairy. And I'm not going to say his name. It's on the screen. But after new alarms from Denmark, the dairy chose to end the project while the website was cleared. A new CEO was added. So that's an old CEO, and this is a new CEO, I presume. I think someone's just parking up. If I'm going funny colours, it's their brake light. Noted that Gesine Megeri, which I think is the dairy, removed all information about BOVAER on its website. This is where the translation goes a bit funny. They also seem to have a new CEO. Maybe they are connected, wrote the Examiner. I think that might be it's reporting on a tweet, I think, from someone in the Swedish community dairy thing. I don't know. There's someone in front unloading their dogs. Climate profile to crisis conscious retreat. Gesine Megeri, and I think this is the dairy again, not a person, profiles itself as a small-scale and natural alternative which is in sharp contrast to using a chemical in the animal feed. Critics argue that the use of BOVAER not only puts the health of animals at risk, but also the trust of consumers. 100%. The completed Gesine project was the BOVAER project Sweden after... it's on the screen. After Norrmageria has put down its climate milk, Noric thus. The Swedish pilot project has now been completely silenced without authorities or trade associations taking a clear position. But consumer boycotts and protests speak for themselves, and it is increasingly clear that it makes the dairies back down. So, as consumers, we have every right to make that decision to avoid companies that are dealing in BOVAER, even if they've finished their trials. You know, it's not just while they're doing the trials. Arla actively use BOVAER in other countries, so you know, there's a real high chance that they will use BOVAER in this country after they've done their trials. Marks and Spencers, as I've always mentioned, are actually doing the trials, and I will put the link to the messenger. So if you've got a 5 minutes, message Marks and Spencers to say that you're really unhappy they're using BOVAER, it's etc etc. But you know, getting back to this, it's saying consumer boycotts and protests speak for themselves, and it is increasingly clear that it makes the dairies back down. You know, we vote with our purses. Any dairy that uses BOVAER, we're not going to you won't shop. You know, we're not going to shop there. If it's, you know, it's personal choice, obviously, but it's powerful stuff, basically. So what we've been doing for a year has made an impact. Sweden's only documented BOVAER project has now fallen. It's on the screen. It doesn't happen in a vacuum. In Norway, the dairy corporation Tine, I don't know how you say it, has temporarily stopped all use of BOVAER after disturbing reports from Denmark, where climate feed is still a legal requirement while it is linked to illness and death among cows. In the UK, Arla has also completed its attempts, which was sold as the climate solution of the future, is now in freefall. I think that's it. So that's the article. Very interesting. It just, you know, let's hope that it's correct, and you know, consumer boycotts etc. Make an impact, because I think they do, to be fair, and I think there's this new surge of people that are interested or can't believe what this thing is, because they, you know, it's been kept very quiet. Lots of us who've been shouting about it haven't been heard because we're small accounts. So when it got quite massively loud on X just this last month, that's had it's reached a lot of more people, so which is brilliant, and hopefully that will carry on, because we can't let you know, we mustn't let the momentum, we must carry on with the momentum, basically, because it really matters. I don't want to I don't want to drink milk that comes from a cow that's been chemically altered on the ridiculous premise that cows are the problem. So, you know. Anyway, that's it. I'm on the school run. I've got a dash. So thanks so much for watching. It's good news. Sweden, there looks like a dairy in there. I don't know about any of the others, but that news report was very interesting. A dairy has dropped BOVAER. Fantastic. Take care. See you on the next one. Bye.